Hey, everyone. This is Ty Burton, also known as the Credit Queen of the South. And here again, we're having another session with Ways to the Bank. And my goal is always to showcase our Black business owners. And I'm so honored to have Miss Lisa B here. I have followed her for years. I have seen her journey. I have seen how she has elevated. So I must have her on this pink couch to educate the people out here that it's not easy, but it's definitely worth it. Hello, Miss Lisa B.
Lifestyle.
How you doing today?
I'm doing better than amazing.
Absolutely. Hey. So I just wanted people to really hear from you how you got started. Of course, your business now, the different businesses you have done. We have done several businesses together.
Yes.
And pretty much what you project in the future as well.
Okay. Well, first and foremost, I would like to say thank you for having me on your pink couch. Pink is my favorite color. But it's an honor to be here today. Me and you, we met with my econ. And it is never, it's like we always been connected. We may not talk all the time or every day, but we've been together. I think it's divine. It's a divine connection, definitely. That was like the start of my journey. I've been trying to do this entrepreneurship since I moved to Atlanta 18 years ago, and of course, at the same time, I've been a nurse. I've been a nurse for 23 years. So that being a nurse and having that career, of course, helped me finance my business and to get to where I'm at. But I've always known I needed to work for myself. I don't like following rules. I don't like listening to people. I march to the drum of my own beat, and yeah. So here I am now, fully retired from nursing, doing my business full time, and loving the freedom.
Absolutely.
Loving the freedom. That's the freedom to me is more important than anything. Just to be able to control my time, my schedule, finagling different things throughout the day. That means more to me than anything in this world. So, yeah, with that being said, I didn't know which route I was going. As you can see, I was doing the financing, I was doing nursing, I went to school for massage, I went to school for business. I've done a lot of different things trying to figure out what was I passionate about, what do I really like doing, what would I do for free, and not feel like I just did some work for free. So I'm finally there, but it didn't take me over. It wasn't an overnight process. So basically, what I did was I turned my pain into my passion. Because people always ask me, "Well, how did you come from being a nurse to being in the beauty industry?" And I said, "That's a good question because it was divine. Like I started getting vitiligo. Yep. I was turning white. Mm-hmm. I had the white spots all over my eyes, my face. It was on my stomach. I started getting on my feet. Like it was really growing, and I was adamant about not having it. Mm-hmm. I went to God and I said, "Listen, I don't know what this is all about. I don't know what you're doing, but the devil's a lie. I'm not gonna embrace this. I don't. It was messing with my self esteem, right. Because all my life people been telling me how good my skin was, and I'm like, dang, what is this? This like I didn't know why I was getting it. So, long story short, I went. They say it's no cure. They say it's no cure for anything, but there's a cure for everything. And I went to the dermatologist. They gave me the creams. They gave me all that. So long story short, it was still spread. It was spreading like wildfire. It started as a little circle right here on my neck, and by the time it started growing, it was just like I had to cover it up. Yeah. Because I just felt like this is my face. I don't want to look like this. You know what I'm saying? I did not embrace it. I did not, accept it. I was like, I'm not accepting this. I'm going to get rid of this somehow, some way. So I started curving it up, wearing the makeup, and people was compliment me. They was like, "Oh, your makeup is pretty," and saying that stuff. So I said, maybe I got something here. Let me tap in and see, because I always told myself I wasn't creative. I stopped telling myself that though, because right. Everybody is creative. Everybody has a creative side to them, and you just got to bring it out. You got to tap into it. Mm-hmm. So I stopped telling myself that, and I ended up going to school for makeup, Gwen Mosby, which is the best makeup school in Atlanta. She's over in Buckhead. She's used to be a celebrity makeup artist back in the day. But I went to her school. I did the makeup. I created my first business, which was what was it? Layla Girl, something. I don't know. Lisa B Beauty Bar. I think that's what it was. Lisa B Beauty Bar. I was doing the makeup, but I wasn't passionate about it. I didn't get that feeling like I'm like, this is kind of a lot of work for a little bit of money. So I'm like, and I was traveling. I didn't have a space, so I was like, I gotta find something else to do. This is not it. So I ended up going to how I met Chanel, Miss Conceited. I went to her lash class. So I did the lash classes, girl. Failed terribly. She didn't even give me my certification. Like, she was one of those teachers where if you didn't do the work, the homework or whatever, and came back the next day, she didn't give you your certification.
You didn't earn it.
I didn't earn it.
Right.
And I didn't like lashes anyway because it was tedious. It's long and tedious. Brows are long, but lashes are long and tedious.
Right.
So I never did anybody. I just donated that $1,500 to her, and it is what it is.
Donated.
I donated. But yeah, so I kept looking. I'm like, okay, well, something else gonna come up, social media. So I'm studied looking, and then that's when I seen the brows, the micro blading. Actually, it wasn't shading at the time; it was blading. So I took my first training with that because when I first started, I was doing the manual technique. We wasn't, and you might have been my client.
I was your test dummy.
Yes,
they're still on.
Yes, they are.
That's what
you need a retouch, but they still on.
You forgot I was one of your models.
Yes, and you
was doing it manually by hand.
Exactly,
and I was sitting up there. But we're gonna get into that in a little bit later because the way you did it made me trust it because I've seen so many reviews about how bad it hurt or puffiness or whatnot.
Right.
And you remember, I didn't have no, it didn't peel. It didn't swell. It never came off.
No. You still got them to this day.
Yeah, you asked me to come for a touch-up. I said, Lisa B, I don't think I need a touch-up. You was like, let me see. I came up there. You like, yeah, you don't need no touch-up. They haven't came off to this day. So, yes, that's why I say I've been through the journey of you transitioning. And I'm happy you did it because you are absolutely amazing at it.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Determined. She was a beast mode. She was determined, y'all. Like, and that's another reason why I wanted you on this show because so many people, we're both self-made.
Right.
I'm sorry, there's no debate.
Right.
Didn't nobody put us on.
No.
So I just wanted to definitely have you here because that is what people think. They think that somebody put us on and we blew up. No, we was out here approaching people, making sure we was in the right room, doing whatever we had to do to get to the clientele that we wanted. Because you have to determine what your price tag is going to be. I knew what type of clientele I wanted to come to me, so I had to change the audience. So I want you to tell about how you had to grow up to that level now that because you're doing celebrities and some of the celebrities you have done, I have seen great, amazing work. But please tell people that they can't wait for someone to put them on. They have to put themselves on.
Yeah, everything starts in the mind. That's the number one. So if you're in your mind and you feel like you need somebody else to do something or to motivate you, then that's where you're going to be at, in your mind. So once you get up out of your mind and change your mindset and know that you have the power, you have the power, but you got to put in the work. Exactly. It's nothing coming to you easy. It's nothing coming overnight unless you hit the lottery or you get inherit some money. Or I'm not privileged from that. I don't have nobody. I'm the black sheep of the family, or I'm the chosen one, or I'm the glue to my family. So with that being said, I had to be adamant, and then my why. What is your why? Why are you doing what you're doing? So if your why is not great enough for you, then you probably will quit, or you'll give up. But my why is bigger than anything, which is my mother.
Exactly.
So that's how I got to be just like so adamant. I dove right into those brows, even though I didn't know what the hell I was doing. Because I'm 4 trainings in now. I didn't have 4 trainings, but when I first trained, I didn't know. I just was thank you and all my clients who came to me in the beginning to let me practice. I didn't mess nobody's brows up though. I was real conservative.
But you didn't stop there either because I remember you doing the first class and learning, getting your certificate. But you went to another level where I'm going to go to California.
Exactly.
I need to elevate. Now I need to learn how to master this.
Exactly.
And that's when, I was like, oh, she's serious about this thing.
Yes.
He was like, I don't care, Ty. I'm taking PTO. I don't care what my job say. I'm going out there. It was like 4 or 5 days.
Me and Raylan. Yep.
And you said after that, once you came back to Atlanta, it was over.
It was a wrap.
Yes, it was over.
A wrap. Yeah. So yeah, that's basically, and now I've been doing brows for 5 years now. I've been training for 3. I'm 4 trainers in. I've then started other businesses. Me and Raylan did the Airbnb. We're still doing Airbnb. We did the Toro. We didn't got sidetracked from the Toro because of all the cars. But that's just something that comes with that territory. You know, you might have a car that, like, my car was totaled out, so there ain't nothing I can do about that, but get another one. But yeah, the journey has been, it's been a good journey. I can't lie. It's ups and downs, even still to this day. The more you start making the money is just, the more it seems like, the more money that song, the more money, the more problems, as far as, because you want to maintain that. You don't want to go back. I always tell myself, there is no way God brought me this far for me to go back. Absolutely. I just don't see it. I cannot see that happening. Like, I have really been blessed with my life, with my business, with my family, my kids helping me with my business and things of that nature. And of course with you, like with the credit and, knowing, I know what to do, how to pay my credit card statements. I know how to, structure my business. I knew how to, I learned all of this stuff just by trial and error. And now, because of all of the, stuff that I've learned, I'm actually going to take your advice with that mentorship program that you just suggested. No, I'm serious. Like, I have to do this because a lot of my people who come and train with me, you're not doing anything.
Yeah.
I need to wake them up. Y'all have spent that money on your skill. Why you not using it?
Yes.
What do you need help with? Do you need to know how to get your EIN? Do you need to know how to form your LLC?
Exactly.
Do you need to know business credit? I can refer you to you. Do you need marketing? Do you need email marketing? Because it's so many ways that you can go about your business, but those things are like those are general information that a lot of people don't know. They think they gotta go out and pay for pay a person to get their EIN, or pay a person to start an LLC. You don't. So a lot of people don't know.
Like that is what it's changed.
Right. So yes. Yeah. So now I'm coming up.
I'm glad you're doing that, because the reason why, when we was having that conversation, when I said you pretty much need to do a business in a box, because people are coming to learn a trade because they need more income, they need stability. However, just teaching a trade is just making them self-employed. With you helping them set up the business the way I was telling you how they should set it up on paper, along with getting mentees and things of that nature, you're creating a system. Your business will continue to run regardless if you're doing the work or not. So that's the thing. You train a lot of people, and then they're like, what's next? And then they lose the spark. You can't. You have to be the cheerleader.
Exactly. And I always tell people, I really believe, like, I can inspire a person. Like, I'm inspired by a lot of people who's doing very well for themselves. But the motivation comes from inside. That little talk, that person who's talking in your head, which is your conscience talking to you, that's got to be your motivation. That got to tell you, I'm gonna get up and I'm gonna do this today. Procrastination is a devil.
Absolutely.
And we all do it. We all do it.
We all do it. However, what separates someone from being successful is that they don't let that continue to be an excuse.
Right.
I mean, people don't see the many hours that we're up. Like, I'm up to 4 o'clock in the morning, but if you look at my social media, I'm smiling. They don't see the struggles or making sure your money is right. They don't understand, as an entrepreneur, you don't eat unless you work.
Exactly.
Unless you have a system working for you. You're not sitting on the clock. You're not getting salary. So regardless, you have to get out here and make your business successful. It's not going to happen overnight. One little post, one little story, it's not going to make your business successful.
No, I always say, I tell them consistency is the key.
Absolutely.
Consistent. If you're not consistent, if you're just doing it here and there, or if it's just going to be a hobby, then it probably is not. It's just going to be that. But if you are adamant about what you're doing, if you are serious about what you're doing, if you have that why you're doing what you're doing, and you're just consistent, like it cannot fail. Like if you putting in the work, you're putting in the time, and you're still building and educating yourself. Education is key as well. And now I ain't talking about going to school education. Exactly. I'm talking about track like YouTube, Google. Those are all.
I'm glad you said that, because a lot of people, they reach out to you and say, "Hey, oh, I want to do brows, or I want to do makeup, or I want to do a boutique," but they have no knowledge of that type of business. It's like you have to do some kind of self-education first to determine if that is something you want to do. I tell also business owners, I said, whatever you want to do, ask yourself, do you see yourself doing that in 15 to 20 years? Right. If the answer is no, don't put that much energy in. You have to look at things like that. You can't, because soon as with a business, as soon as it start taking off, you can't pause on it if you want it to continue to grow. So that's what they have to do, some type of, knowledge check on whatever it is they want to tap into. Because it's a lot of liability. I want you to go over that as well, because a lot of people see, you making them beautiful. It looks easy. But I do want you to tell them about, the insurance and the paperwork that is required to cover your business, because you are dealing with people's skin and face.
Absolutely. You definitely got to be careful with that, because like far as insurance, you got to have insurance. You want to be covered if anybody try to sue you. Period. You never know. And insurance is what it is. It's there for protection. You may not never need it, but you need it. Exactly. When you need it, you need it. So yes, that's definitely a component of doing brows. You want to have your insurance. You want to have your license. You know what I'm saying? Here in Georgia, it's county by county. So whatever county you work in, that's the county where you're going to get your license. In order to get your license, you got to have my certification. Exactly. So once you take my training and get your certification, then you can get the license. But it has to be in whatever county you're going to work in. So, the people who work for me, they're in DeKalb. I'm in DeKalb County. They have to go through DeKalb County to get their license. It's all kind of and insurance was something that I had. I never had it as like even being a nurse, because I always worked a job. But being an entrepreneur, you want to have your insurance. You want to have your medical. Like I don't get it. I don't get 401k. I don't get 403b. I don't get medical insurance. Like all of those things are compartments, and God has brought me people from my clients who kind of guided me on every area that I needed, as far as my insurance, as far as my business insurance. So those things are very important when it comes to business. You definitely need those things in place to be successful and to be covered. I just had a complaint from a lady who she took me to the Better Business Bureau, and it was because she said her brows wasn't dark enough, and she didn't know the process. She didn't know that she needed to wait 6 weeks and come back and then we can make them darker.
Absolutely. I'm so glad you're saying this, because some people will try to do business with you just to find a reason to pick you apart.
Well, I think all my clients that come to me are divine, and my trainees Absolutely. As well. That just was one, example, and
but that's a good example, because people have to see the good and the bad.
Oh yeah, they have to have nobody shows the bad.
All customers will not be happy customers, but that doesn't mean that you don't have great work.
Exactly.
So I'm just glad that you did expose that incident and how far it can go.
Yes, I did a live about that whole incident. So on Mondays, of course you got to come on my platform too, because on Mondays I do lives on my Instagram with different business owners.
Okay.
So of course I got to have you on there on one Monday. But yeah, so I talked about that on my one live video, live on Instagram, to let people know. It ain't all peaches and cream. Like, you have times, you have customers that are not happy, and it really broke my heart because it's not that she didn't like the brows. The brows were perfect. It's because she wanted them darker. But you did not have to go there.
It's the level that she went to.
It's the level.
I understand.
It's the level.
Trust me.
Yes.
With me being in credit, just about all clients are victims. So you have to make sure you cover, policies and procedures.
Right.
So, well, I'm definitely grateful that you came on, but please tell us what we see from you in the future.
Well, of course, you're gonna see from me. I'm always looking to build my brand and my business. You know, I enjoy doing brows. I love doing brows. Don't get me wrong, but eventually I'm gonna come from behind that chair.
Absolutely.
I'm just being honest. Not just because of my age, because my age, but I'm still
You
young.
have a business now. You're not self-employed. So,
Right.
You're educating. You're
Right.
leveling up other people.
Exactly.
So it makes sense.
Right. So yeah, that's definitely the goal. For my shop to run full fledged without me having to be there all the time. Of course, I'm working on that each and every day. It's everybody want to be a boss now. People don't want to work in this industry, and I get it. Everybody wants to work for themselves or represent their brand, or they come. Everybody is opening up a business, which I love the fact that we're opening up business now. Because we should have been doing this, but that 2020, that thing that woke up the giant.
A lot of people.
It woke up. I mean, if your hustle wasn't on,
I think we were the only ones traveling everywhere during COVID. Like,
man,
we was
all in LA.
We was, picking out vendors for boutiques.
Yes.
So,
we did
Vegas.
not let it stop.
Yeah, you're right.
We didn't.
It with no mask.
No.
And it never got caught.
Never got it.
I just have to throw that never got COVID.
No,
we was out there deep. But that's the reason why we're still sitting here on this couch, because it's a lot of people, not to point fingers, but they call themselves starting a business during COVID and they didn't do their homework. Just like we was just talking the other day about, an accountant, CPA. I was telling you why I have a CPA. We can't self-educate ourselves on all the moving parts on a business. So I always tell anyone, you definitely need a CPA. You definitely need an attorney. You need health insurance because you have to make sure you have to be present, for your business. So I'm looking forward to one Monday being on your live to discuss the madness. I call it business madness.
Yeah, business madness.
We're gonna keep it 100. It's not all peaches and cream.
It's not.
But it's definitely worth it's
worth it.
The hustle and bustle is definitely worth it. Well, thank you again for being on the Way to the Bank podcast. And like I said, you will be having a part 2 from Miss Lisa B because she also has a boutique. You didn't mention the boutique.
I know. I got so many moving parts. Yes. How could I forget a natural beauty collection?
Yes.
That's my baby. I need to be more proactive on that on my page. I don't even really post, but I do. A lot of my clients who come in and people who come into the store, they buy. They shop.
Well, you have foot traffic. There's different audience for what you do. Right. So it makes sense.
Right.
And also I want to throw out there, my youngest success story is your son, Raylan. Like, oh my God, he used to sit right there. And I could just leave the business in his hands and I felt, and I'm so glad he absorbed it and that's why he's successful now. Yes. Like, he was like a sponge. When I say, at first he was nervous, but after he was seeing the moving part, it just clicked. He was like, oh. Yeah. It's over, Ty.
Right. Right.
So hopefully I'll have him on the pink couch as well.
Yes.
And so I'm looking forward to doing more business adventures with you. But like I said, I met you years ago. We just met up at my econ event and you was determined then, hey, Ty, I cannot work for anybody else. And I think in less than a year and a half after that, it was over. You left your job.
Yeah. Yeah. It's been this coming up March, it'll be 2 years. I've been what I call off the plantation.
Exactly. And that is speaking volume because you came from a nurse. That is a very high income paying, you know, job, career.
Especially with COVID, they was paying what? They was paying top dollar.
For you to have the confidence to step away from that secured salary and now surpass it, you know, that's another Black powerful woman. So once again, like I said, this is Ways to the Bank. Stay tuned for our next podcast. But once again, Lisa B has graced us with her presence, and look forward to more great things from her.
Yay. Thank you for having me again.